Okay, guys, offer accepted until it wasn't. That's the reality of private treaty, where a yes feels like a win, but it's really just the starting gun. We're going to address it this morning. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, solicitor.
Good morning.
How are you, Billy?
I'm good, thank you. These like my my favorite phone call in real estate and my least favorite call in real estate, all packaged up in one conversation this morning.
Yeah. So let's talk about how does that conversation go and what are we actually talking about this morning?
Yeah, we're talking about offer acceptance until it wasn't, and I guess there's a lot of work that gets done between having the fabulous news presented to you that you've had your offer accepted and then actually the reality of making it official with a contract in place and exclusivity over the property or taking it off the market altogether. So we're going to talk about sort of the steps involved there. But how
Yeah.
good is the phone call for a start? Just calling a buyer and saying your offer's been accepted is honestly my favorite part of the job.
It is. I agree. It is literally the best feeling ever. I mean, I've had people screaming, crying. It is a wonderful, wonderful message to deliver for sure. It's one of our most favourite moments in real estate. There's that opportunity right there where we have the opportunity to be able to change people's lives. That's the reality. But often the next sentence that I have to say after that, when I say, Billy, congratulations, your offer has been accepted. I'm so thrilled for you guys. I do need to state, however, that the property is on the market until it's exchanged. So
Yeah.
the quicker we can move things along with the exchange, the better it will be, because somehow the market just knows when an offer's been accepted. And look,
So
there's
true.
some agents and agencies out there, Billy, that will actually write on the listing, offer accepted or under offer. You might have seen those words before. We actually don't do that as an office, and when we don't have to, guys. But the market somehow knows when an offer's been accepted. It's the weirdest thing, and at the 11th hour, there's another buyer there. And people will often say, I was gazumped. No, you weren't gazumped, guys. The property is on the market until it's exchanged. So it's in everyone's best interest to get that exchanged as soon as possible. And this is where we often say, have really good people by your side. Have a great mortgage broker or a great banker that can assist with getting things moving along super quick, and have a great conveyancer or solicitor on your side. I've got one at the moment that I'm dealing with, and the solicitor was off. The solicitor was not working on Friday or yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, goodness me, guys, we're trying to hold things together, until today. So, offer accepted does not mean that the property cannot be sold to anyone else.
Yeah, nor does it mean you purchased the property. We've fundamentally got agreement on terms and price. But I 100% agree with you. The number one pitfall is having a professional in your corner that's just not available. It's the number one thing that's going to hold you up when you come to getting the exchange done. A really good starting point is just having a mobile number for your point of contact. You can reach them easy. And second of all, knowing that if there might be a way, they've got a colleague that can step in, like preemptively have these conversations. It's not like you're getting a surprise because you looked at it on Saturday. You might get the news on Saturday afternoon, Sunday or Monday. So you can expect this call coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's this critical window, between an acceptance, offer being accepted, and an exchange. And I find, Billy, that's where the deals actually live or die. That's the truth. So, you see the snappy buyers go, oh, yeah, no, I've got my solicitors ready. They're waiting on the sales advice to come through, which is the document that we send through when an offer's been accepted. That outlines the conditions of the sale. But a great solicitor that's on standby and a great solicitor or conveyancer that is available outside of hours, because that's mostly when the deals are done. Think about it. Our weekends are flat chat with open homes and buyers. And then
Yeah.
if you're a buyer and you've had your offer accepted, and guys, we're talking about private treaty, auction's very different. We had a scenario last week, and I want to talk you guys through this. So we had a buyer who had their offer accepted, very emotional. They continued missing out on property. And we had explained that the property is on the market until it's exchanged. And what do you know? A higher offer came in prior to the property being exchanged. So we had to go back to the buyer and let them know. Understandably, they were super upset. And the under the vendor's instruction, and I actually love this strategy. It's called a best and fairest. And under the vendor's instruction, we ran a best and fairest. Billy, let's just talk about what that looks like, what a best and fairest strategy looks like.
Yeah, when the vendor's got two offers to consider at very similar levels, both buyers are ready to exchange quickly, the terms might even be the same. It's an opportunity for them to just come back and put their walkaway offers in writing to the vendor. It's also a great way for a buyer to have no buyer remorse. In the event that they do move on to another property, they can at least say they gave it their best shot, their best final price and terms. So that would be the vendor's recommendation or suggestion to close out that negotiation fairly. But yeah, it is devastating for that buyer because you're on an emotional roller coaster. 1 minute you're up thinking you've just bought the property, the next minute you're sort of absolutely gut wrenched with the news that you no longer.
Yeah.
In their mind, they've already bought it. They might even moved in. They might have even done measurements that they're coordinating the move out of their existing place. I get it. We do get it. Simplifies for them greatly.
Oh, absolutely we do. And the natural person to blame is the real estate agent. I mean, look, guys, understand we act for a vendor. And, if your offer's been accepted, let's say at $950,000, your offer was accepted. And then between offer and acceptance and getting the exchange done, Billy Smith calls me and says, actually, I'm going to submit an offer of $951,000. We must present that to the vendor for their instruction. We have to. We're bound by legislation. We absolutely must do that. And on the vendor's instruction, we determine what to do next. So, and many vendors will say, let's run a best and fairest. Some vendors will say, no, I already accepted that young couple's offer and I'm honouring that. That's happened many, many a time. And some vendors have said, thanks so much, I'll take the extra $1,000. It helps to pay for some of their marketing or their solicitor expenses. So, at the end of the day, we do act for a vendor. And the speed that you can get that property exchanged is absolutely everything. It's paramount.
Give you an idea of what's normal. The super snappy buyers and buyers agents in the marketplace that are full-time and specialists in this, they are exchanging properties within the day after having their offer acceptance. I'd say within half a day, if it was presented at 9 a.m. in the morning, they'd be getting it done by mid-afternoon. The ones that leave themselves open to that risk are ones that get accepted on something like a Tuesday and don't do anything until Thursday. And in the middle there's a Wednesday showing. It's the same thing with a Friday and don't do anything until Monday. There's a showing on the weekend. That's when you're at your sort of most vulnerable, I guess.
Absolutely. And listen, I've got one right now at this moment. I had offer in acceptance on a property on Thursday. The purchaser wanted to get their own pest and building report done, even though we had something for them readily available. The pest and building inspector couldn't get to the property until today. The solicitor wasn't available on, as I mentioned, on Friday and Monday. This is like watching a car crash happen in slow motion. And then on Saturday, I had an open home where I had 10 buyers come through that particular property, and 2 of those buyers were second inspections. So, there's other interest there as well. And this is where we see things go wrong, guys. So how do you protect a deal? You just remove doubt, have clean terms, you move quickly, you have fast timelines, constant communication, and don't drift to the exchange. You've got to drive like you're in the Grand Prix. You've got to fly through to get things exchanged quickly. Because I think from a buyer's perspective, if a real estate agent says, we have other interests there, we have other interested parties, the buyer goes, yeah, sure you do. The property's been sitting on the market for 5 weeks and now you're telling me you've got someone else. Sure you do. And next minute we're like, guys, just to let you know, we've had another offer come through and the vendor's instructed us to exchange with that party.
Yeah.
So, you know, please, guys, be careful. It does happen. As I said, we're at the, you know, we're on the instruction of a vendor. That is who we work for. Have great people by your side. As Billy said, in an ideal world, you should be exchanging the same day.
Yeah. If you need any help, give us a call. We, you know, do a lot of work within our team just focusing on helping buyers. So I think the best thing you can do as an agent is communicate clearly. I think the agent gets the bullet when they don't preemptively say, look, this is what happens next and this is what you can expect. And these are sort of the next things you need to be aware of, because poor communication in this phase is so delicate. And I think that's why a vendor wants an experienced negotiator, because if you lose people's trust in this point, forget it, the deal's dead.
I love that. I love everything that you just said there, Billy. I really, really do. And I reckon another great topic for discussion, we might save this one for next week, is when an interested person, there was a buyer who was interested in a property and then the agent just went and sold the property and didn't actually go back to all the other interested parties. I hear this a lot. I think this is a big topic of conversation. But guys, hopefully that's helped some of you out there. I think speed is your little secret weapon here. Offering acceptance, awesome. Don't pop the champagne just yet, but make sure you move super, super quick. And an agent, a great agent, is going to really help you through that process as well.
Yeah, stunning. We'll bring that one for next week.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Billy. Have a great day, everyone.
You too.